Hello, and welcome back to HBO Max. We're back, baby. I'm Makenna. Joining me as always is Brandon. Hi, Brandon. How are you today?
I am quite well.
That's very good. Joining us, I'm very excited, is Brayden Koryzma. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Good. How are you guys? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here. This is like literally like this is like the best thing ever. This is like being on like Deal or No Deal or like something crazy. You know what I mean? That you just like you never know what's gonna happen. You just like it's exciting.
If we ever get a box set of HBO Max, that's gonna be like on the cover
Oh,
of the case.
and you could do like each guest is like their outline on like the each like with each episode. You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be so cool. Okay, how do we make DVDs?
It's pretty easy. It's like we could do it. Like you just have to like take each episode, burn it onto a disc, and then we can like just do a cover art that we just have to like figure out the dimensions on where things like sit. Easy. We could easily figure it out.
Watch out. This is it. Year 3 HBO Max, the year of
right.
the DVD. Let's go. I'm super excited for this episode because, well, we'll get into it. We did Jurassic Park.
It's the best thing ever, man. Like is like honestly the originals are so good.
Movie.
Yeah.
I forgot how much I loved it. Like, I knew I loved it. I got real into it a couple years ago because I read the book. And then rewatching the movie now, I'm like, oh, I forgot how deep into this I got. Like,
right?
Like, I bought, where did I put it? I bought oh, hold on, I'm grabbing things. I bought a dinosaur book. Like,
I think I used to have that book. Like, something like that. I swear I used to have something like that.
Yeah, dude, I just like looking at the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like
it's so dope.
It's so good. It's like, so I think we might be back in the dinosaur phase.
Yeah.
But I think we can figure out why it was picked. But Brayden, why did you pick Jurassic Park?
Because I like you, I love dinosaurs. I've always loved them. I don't know the most about them, but I think they're the coolest like animals or whatever you want to call them, like living things to ever exist on this planet.
For sure.
Like I feel like we for some reason love zombies. Get away from that. Like let's bring in some dinosaurs, please.
We know about dinosaurs, dude. I never went through a dinosaur phase as a kid, but I went through it a couple years ago. Like I just had it 15 years late. Like
yeah.
I'm like, dude, maybe I should switch my college major to paleontology. Like I considered
time,
it.
You could be up there with Alan Grant.
Hell yeah. Let's go some digs. Let's hear about bones.
You're using all the stuff. You're scraping the bones.
Mm-hmm.
You're digging in, looking for that dino DNA. Are you kidding me?
Dino DNA.
There's so many like iconic moments I feel like from that movie.
Oh yeah.
It's such a dope movie, man.
It is. And like watching it, like a lot of it still holds up.
Mm-hmm.
It's still like it's basically a perfect movie. Like
yeah.
It just like I mean, like, so this is the first Steven Spielberg movie we've done on the podcast.
Is it really?
So that's huge. I think so, right?
You guys didn't do like E.T. or anything like that?
No. I think this is the first. We've been meaning to do Jaws for a while, but we've never gotten around to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, JP, it's the first one.
Wow.
That's cool.
It's a big one.
It is.
We're starting off on a high for him.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Most of his movies are pretty solid.
He's pretty fucking good.
He knows what he's doing. But like one of the first. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say we got John Williams as well. Go on.
True. I was gonna say one of the first things. Like I know we were saying like this movie holds up. I love when you see the Brachiosaurus for the first time. Now it looks so much like a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
At least on like my television, it did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, but like I'm still like I'm still in it. I'm still in it. I'm like.
I think that's of like the dinosaur effects. That's the only one that looks a little shaky. All the other ones look really good, but they're also one thing that we'll get into this as we get deeper into the podcast. But like, there's actually not as much CG as people think is in this movie.
Absolutely, a lot of it is practical.
Like, most of the so the rule when you're watching Jurassic Park is if you see the entire dinosaur, it's CG. If you only see part of the dinosaur, it's a puppet or it's an animatronic.
That's cool. I didn't even think about that. I mean, that makes sense though, because like to get like the way the tail moves and everything, like it'd be so hard. I know you're thinking about the T-Rex scene right now, and you're like, oh my god.
Oh my god, you go through so many emotions. Like I get so giddy when I see the dinosaurs, and then like I screamed a lot. I forgot how much.
It's why Steven Spielberg is so good. Is that like the back half of this movie is like a horror movie where like you're really afraid of the dinosaur.
Yeah.
But like the beginning of the movie is all about you just being blown away by looking at a dinosaur for the first time and just being like the whole first half of the movie is you're just like in awe of everything that's going on. And then then it gets like scary.
Yeah, and it's freaking amazing. Like I'm just obsessed with like, especially I don't remember my first time ever watching, but I remember being a kid and just being like man, if this ever comes true, I'm on that fucking island day one. Like I don't care what it costs me. I'll sell somebody. I don't know, like whatever it takes, you know, like.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'll watch from a distance.
Yeah, like the Jurassic World scenario where it's like a park that's been running for a couple of years, you know, that sort of thing. Maybe then I'll go to a Jurassic, World. But like the Jurassic Park, like you're just gonna show up, you're gonna show me dinosaurs, like get me the fuck out of there, dude. Like this is.
I'll live stream it. Don't worry, you guys can watch from safe from your computers.
Okay. Perfect.
If I die, just remember I took one for the team. That way you guys.
You gotta do what you had to do. You gotta do what you need to do for the people.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
What? So is that what the Jurassic World, the new movies are about? Like it's.
Did you never see Jurassic World?
No, this is.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it like the whole point is Makenna just never watches movies until she.
Yes. Well, yeah, but like she watches like the big ones now usually when they come out or whatever. I figured she would have checked out a Jurassic World at some point, but no. It's like Jurassic World is like the theme park is open. It's been running for a couple of years.
How did it get open? Wait, what?
So
it's actually like, especially when you consider like the canon of the movies, it really doesn't make any sense. Because you haven't seen Jurassic Park 2, right? Like, no. I know you haven't read the book, you haven't seen the movie. The ending of Jurassic Park 2 is they unleash a T-Rex on like San Diego.
Yeah. Yeah. It's super cool. Like somebody gets eaten at a Blockbuster. Yeah. So that's So
like the idea that like they ever made a theme park for dinosaurs is like actually really dumb as far as the movies go. But yeah.
You should watch, like honestly, I'll be honest though, I really like The Lost World. I think it's a great
Lost World's a fun movie. Especially because and we'll get into this later, but it brings a lot of stuff from the book. The original Jurassic Park book gets introduced into the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's super cool. Like they're all. I mean, I honestly I like 5 out of the 6 Jurassic movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fallen Kingdom is the one I cannot really get behind.
Is that the second one in the new trilogy?
Yeah. It just misses a few beats for me. Like the newest one, Dominion, was. I didn't think it was great by any means, but I thought it was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing that strayed me away is so in the newer ones, they like to talk about like they want to create their own dinosaur. That's like the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what kind of made Jurassic World and like those kind of less interesting for me. Is like they're inventing new dinosaurs and stuff, and like I don't know. There's a lot to it that is just like. It seems like people don't get why Jurassic Park was so cool in the first place.
Yeah. Totally, right? And I completely agree with you. It's like, don't get me wrong, like the CG looks amazing, like it all looks awesome, but yeah, like that, it's kind of a little bit of a killjoy, and that's why the second one kind of bugs me. But the other two are fine. They're enjoyable because it's cool that we get another dinosaur movie that's actually like you can watch. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's tons out there that I've never seen.
There aren't that many dinosaur movies. Like there's really not.
No, like you never see many hit in the theaters.
No,
I guess the last one I can think of would have been the one with Adam Driver. It was like
oh yeah, where he's in the past.
Yeah,
Dinosaur Times.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've been meaning to.
I'm not familiar.
I'm trying to remember what it's called right now. It's like what is it?
64.
It might just be 64.
I think it's called 64. It's set 64 million years in the past.
Yeah.
Huh.
and it
Yeah,
seems
so it's like Adam Driver is like a spaceman, and he crashes on Earth like 64 million years in the past, and there's dinosaurs.
it's called 65. Sorry,
65.
but like, yeah, he just crashes on this planet, and then he's just trying to figure out a way to survive or get off or something.
I never watched it, but the trailer was dope.
Yeah, the trailer was so dope. It kind of gave it like very spooky vibes.
Because it's like future spaceman fighting a T-Rex, right? So that's pretty cool.
Something I could get behind. I'd like to think. I definitely want to watch it. I've heard it's fun, so I want to check it out.
Yeah. Dinosaurs.
Maybe this weekend. Because I am going with my parents. I'm on the long weekend here, so hopefully I watch it.
Ooh, dinosaur time. Let me give you guys some facts and figures.
Yes, facts and figures.
The internet. Jurassic Park was released June 11th, 1993, 30 years ago. Woo! It had a budget of $63 million. It has made $1.46 billion. It was the highest grossing film of all time until Titanic in 97. And when it was re-released for the 20th anniversary in 2013, it became the oldest film to surpass $1 billion. It's won 3 Oscars: Best Sound Design, Best Sound Editing, Best Sound Mixing, and Best Visual Effects. Before the book was published in 1990, 4 studios had already put bids in for the rights, and of course Spielberg and Universal won out, acquiring the rights for $1.5 million. The study of paleontology had a record increase due to interest from the movie and the book. The T-Rex roar is composed from the sounds of a dog, a penguin, a tiger, an alligator, and a baby elephant. Samuel L. Jackson was supposed to film Arnold's death scene, but a hurricane destroyed the set, so we did not get to see him die.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like those shots of the boat and stuff, like during the storm, those are all B-roll they shot while there was a hurricane in Hawaii while they were filming. It was like the only thing that they could get done that day was they just went out to the beach and filmed the storm.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize they were going to include that, though. That's crazy. It destroyed the set. That's cool.
And finally, the book to movie, like, only about 10 to 20% of the book is in the movie, in this movie.
Oh, really?
It's a very loose adaptation.
Yeah. A lot of, like, the information is in that DNA video, like, with all, like, what they use, the frog stuff and everything.
The book is, like, very science heavy.
Yeah.
Right,
and, like,
okay.
Yeah, it focuses a lot more on the science aspects and stuff. And like,
it's very gory as well.
Yeah, the book's very dark, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the book is very much like a cautionary tale. Like, this is a bad thing that's going on. And, like, a lot of things got changed in the process. Like, Hammond is a much nicer character in the movie than he is in the book.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's like the main antagonist.
He's more like an Elon Musk kind of, like, Walt Disney kind of figure, like this really shady, unethical businessman.
Right, like, this is getting done. I don't care what the costs are. We're making.
So, like, in the movie, you hear him say, like, spared no expense, right?
Yeah.
And he says that in the book a lot too. But, like, what you end up finding out is that, like, he cuts a bunch of corners and, like, actually cheaps out on a lot of stuff in the park, and that's why stuff goes bad.
Like, electric fence, just put up like a one. It's fine.
Yeah, and like some of that's in the movie because, like, the entire reason Nedry, like, fucks everything up is because Hammond won't pay him.
Yeah, right. He's like, "Come on, man."
Yeah.
The one thing sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just like there's just a lot of differences in the book. Like, the book is just way darker.
And, like, the one thing I heard about the book is, like, Nedry doesn't die. Like, he doesn't die, like, getting to the boat. Like, he dies on the boat, I think, right?
Yeah, he still gets, like, attacked by the numbing things, but you go through it with him. Like, you go through his emotions with him. Like, it doesn't cut. You are there until he's dead.
Yeah, like, the scene of him, like, getting attacked by the, what dinosaur does he get attacked by? The Dilophosaurus?
Yeah.
In the book, that scene is, like, gory and gross, and, like, he describes, like, his stomach getting cut open and stuff.
Oh.
Like, Yeah, it's and like Hammond dies in the book.
Yeah.
Hammond gets eaten by compies.
And you're also there with
Which-
him while he's
Yeah,
getting cut.
so if you've seen The Lost World, the opening scene of The Lost World is the little girl on the island and she gets eaten by compies. That's one of the opening scenes of the book.
It's like the second chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Jurassic Park.
Like the first 3 chapters of Jurassic Park are like three people dying from the dinosaurs and everything.
Yeah, it's like somebody gets attacked off the coast of like California or something by like what is it, like a pterodactyl or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a flying dinosaur that's like left the island. This little girl gets eaten by compies on this like island outside of Costa Rica and stuff. And it's like all these disasters like foreshadowing like what the hell's going on? Why are there dinosaurs here and stuff?
Right.
And yeah, so they used that scene for Lost World, and then Hammond's death scene echoes that. He gets eaten by the tiny little dinosaurs as like you killed a little girl and you really didn't give a shit, and now you have to go through like the same thing she did.
That's crazy. I should really read this book.
You should read the book.
The book is really good. I'm thinking about rereading it.
Yeah, I clearly need to. Like, there's got to be a way to put it on my phone or something like that. Just
I think the audiobook's supposed to be like really good.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a good thing. I've never bought an audiobook, but I think that'd be worth it.
You know where you should get your audiobooks from? You should go to, I don't remember the link.
I believe it's audible.com/trial/HBO Max.
All right. I'll take a link after.
You'll get a free audiobook. You can listen to Jurassic Park, which is a dope fucking book.
Yeah.
That you should check out.
I'm definitely down for this. This sounds fantastic. I couldn't have come on a better day.
Yeah. And like the book starts off like it feels like more like you're like it's like a case file, like where the author's just like explaining like there was this huge disaster that nobody knows about. It's one of the biggest scientific disasters of all time that happened outside of Costa Rica, and just describe like, and because like the entire thing is essentially Michael Crichton being like genetic science, and the way science is approaching like the genetic like patenting genes and all this stuff is like one of the most disastrous thing that's ever going to happen in the history of science. And it's like the whole book is essentially like him tearing down like science as like a profit machine, which like very very like relatable to modern times, the way, you know,
Totally.
like no science is done for just like the good of humanity anymore. Like when, you know, this whatever his name is who invented penicillin like never patented it, put it out for free, and like now, you know, all medicines that are made cost $1 billion and you can't afford them, and people are dying like crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, the book's very good.
It makes so much sense though. You're like, yeah, shit, that's hitting right. Yeah.
I do have some stuff to add on to the facts and figures, because like so the reason that Jurassic Park like got, so they were bidding for the film rights before the book was even published, right? Yeah. So the reason that happened was Steven Spielberg and Michael Crichton were working together on ER. ER is based on 2 short stories that Michael Crichton wrote.
Is that like because ER emergency room type thing?
The TV show with like George Clooney.
Okay.
Yeah, because like, so Michael Crichton, like right when he got out of college, he wrote a couple screenplays, he directed a couple movies, and then like he was a doctor and like he practiced medicine. Just like wrote a couple of these stories about like working in a hospital and stuff. And Steven Spielberg was originally going to adapt those into a movie, and then like just through the process, it ended up becoming a TV show made by Amblin. And so one of like the first screenplays that Michael Crichton wrote while he was in college was like the earliest version of Jurassic Park, which is about like a science student who makes a dinosaur in his basement or whatever. And like he's basically like been working on like variations of like the genetic cloning sciences and how to make that into a story or whatever. And while they were working on ER, Michael Crichton was just like talking to Steven Spielberg, and he's like, yeah, I'm working on this like screenplay, you know, I've been working on it for a couple of years. I want to like maybe do it into a book of just like, you know, this is the science behind how you could bring dinosaurs back, and like maybe they make it into a theme park or something. And Steven Spielberg was like, I want that. I need that. Like, make that. And he went to Universal and was like, you have to pay this guy $1 million to write this book because I want to make this movie.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, so because of Steven is why we have this.
Yeah, like he just heard it and was just like, I want to make a movie with dinosaurs. Give me, and like the idea that like he had such like a concrete plan about like it's not a monster movie like King Kong where you go off to this island and there's dinosaurs there. It's like here's like a realistic. Like when you watch the movie and they explain the science, you're like, this makes sense. Why aren't we doing this right now?
Yeah, literally, dude. Like I'm like, you guys are stupid. Like it's in the movie. Like please just fucking do it. And
it's such a cool idea. Like
it really is. Like and like but how deep they go into it. I mean, me not being a scientist, I believe it.
Yeah, like, I mean, it mostly is like real.
Factual.
Like we can clone stuff. The DNA, like how they get the DNA is like enough junk science to where like your brain just ignores like actually like no, that doesn't work that way. Right. But yeah, everything else is like super cool.
Yeah. Like I always love the DNA guy in like the like the whole like presentation.
Mr. DNA, yeah. It's so good.
So good.
Apparently in 2005, I didn't read the news article because my brain's not wired for science. But like apparently a scientist found dinosaur blood or whatever. So, you know.
So yeah, so I believe it was that they found a mammoth that was frozen before it got fossilized. And so they have like they are working to like try to restore the blood of it, but some like the DNA that's in the blood breaks down and dies over time. So they're trying to figure out if they can actually pull like full DNA strands out of that stuff.
Interesting. Because I mean, in theory, if they could do that, they could bring back the mammoth.
Yeah. If they get actual like access to the DNA, like they can clone those things. So we're like pretty close to this being like actual science.
How big's a mammoth?
Pretty big. I think
big. Yeah.
They're bigger than elephants, aren't they?
Oh god.
Yeah, let me pull up. Let's get. So they're about 12 feet tall. Yeah, they're taller than they're a bit taller than an elephant.
So would they be the biggest land animal?
Today.
Yeah, today I guess.
I think a giraffe might be taller, but
what about like
full size? I'd imagine. Yeah, they'd probably be the largest land mammal.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I think the idea of something large is just like very intimidating.
Yeah.
It is, and it is like when you actually like think about like this movie, like you should probably be careful because like this could like fuck somebody up. Like
the one of the things they didn't do, I guess, is like the velociraptors. They're actually like 3 feet, like 4 feet. They're actually much smaller.
Yeah, so like a lot of the dinosaurs, like the actual dinosaurs in this movie, like not that. Like the Velociraptor is actually like a shitty dinosaur that's like actually not that cool or whatever. And like the Dilophosaurus is like not accurate at all to what the Dilophosaurus actually is. Also, like this is one of my I think we talked about this on I think there's like a TikTok clip out of this. But like the Dilophosaurus and the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the time in between those animals being alive on the earth together is the same time between the T-Rex and humans.
That's crazy.
I don't like that. it's too...
Like in my headcanon, they're all there. They're all together. You know?
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
You just think like, all the dinosaurs. That's dinosaur time.
That's dinosaur time.
But no, like they weren't even like
the Jurassic, and
it was impossible for a T-Rex and a Dilophosaurus to ever see each other.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy that like that many millions of years gone by that like a total species would come and go, and then new ones would be created.
It gives me
it's scary.
I don't like that.
But like they did kind of make them so like in Jurassic World Dominion, they I think they were a little more realistic with the Utah Raptor. Did you see Dominion, Jose?
I didn't know.
So like the Utah Raptors are like what are more depicted in Jurassic Park, like the same like about the size and stuff like that. As from what if I remember that correctly. Yeah. Because like regular Velociraptors would have also more feathers.
Yeah, and like now we know like the T-Rex, the posture of the T-Rex is like totally wrong.
Yeah.
The what else is it? Like, oh yeah, like the T-Rex, like he can't see you if you don't move, like that's just like a lie.
Yeah.
Like I think Steven Spielberg was just like, we need a way for him to survive a T-Rex, so just like make something
just
up.
like they're like seeing what would stick, and they're like, well,
yeah,
he's only
visual acuity, whatever that means.
Yeah, because I remember growing up, like as a kid, like the whole time I thought, yeah, as soon as
yeah, I just took
I
that
see
for
it,
fact.
I'm just not gonna move.
Yeah,
because like they even reference it in the third one, and like they actually I think they were kind of reference it in every one of them. They're always
I
like,
think they
don't
do.
move, and then like in the third one, for example, Alan Grant's like, don't nobody move a muscle, and then everybody but him starts sprinting away, and he's like, he looks back and he's like, oh my god, and then he has to start running too because he's gonna die.
So I had one other like fact thing to bring into the movie,
Sure.
which is I don't know if you guys noticed this, but it's shot in a weird aspect ratio. It's shot in a 1.85 by 1, so it's like 25% more vertical space than like the average film height.
Oh, interesting.
And it's because of like the big shots of like the T-Rex and stuff like standing next to humans. He wanted he wanted like the vertical space to be able to fit the entire dinosaur in there, but keep like the scale of people like the same and stuff. So yeah, like just one of the reasons Steven Spielberg's so fucking good is that he'll just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna do something like totally weird and just shoot this in like a very like, it's more shot like the way modern TV is shot now.
Okay. But I feel like that like made it everything though, because having like the scale, it really puts it in perspective for you, because you're like, well, this guy's probably like what, 5-6 feet, and you're like, yeah, that's...
the shot of the T-Rex getting out like at night, like that famous sequence.
Yes.
Wouldn't work if they didn't shoot it in that aspect ratio. Like when you like the way it fills up the screen is just like, it's so like it's just fucking perfect.
It
Spielberg,
really is.
Master.
What an iconic scene.
So good.
There's so many iconic moments in that film. Like it's ridiculous.
It's so good.
Like there's almost like scenes within the scene, because like there's like you said, like that T-Rex at night scene, like when he's attacking everybody. Then like within that scene, there's him, the buddy getting eaten on the toilet.
Yeah, like, there's like different parts of like that scene goes on for so long, and like each parts of it. So like the start of just seeing the glasses of water on the dashboard, which they ran guitar strings underneath the dashboard, and there was a dude under there and plucking the strings.
No way, that's that's crazy. Like the kind of like when you're not, you know, me not being in the film industry, you don't even know like all the things they go through to make each effect kind of happen.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things, just like the problem solving. Like basically like Steven Spielberg went up to the prop guys and was like, I want a thing where like we can see the water shaking, but like, you know, obviously like that's gonna be pretty hard to do. And the guy like literally like picked up a guitar and set a glass of water on it and plucked a string, and it was like boom. And he's like, I want that, do that.
Do that, figure out a way to do that through a car. And he's like, bet. And he's just plucked it real hard.
Yeah. God, yeah, just like Steven Spielberg is just so good at like an action sequence. It just like flows and like it keeps escalating. Like T-Rex is out, like, oh, that's a problem. And then like it's like trying to bite through the window of the car. The window like collapses on the kids and they're like pushing it back.
Wasn't that like not supposed to happen, or did something go wrong during that scene?
I don't know. Maybe it might have not supposed to like gone through, and they just like went with it, because that is like it's a really cool idea. Like and then like the Jeff Goldblum getting out and running away from the dinosaur with the flare.
Oh, okay, and then, sorry. I found it, but it was apparently it was supposed to happen. Some people, like I've seen on the internet that like the kids were like genuinely afraid, like they weren't prepared for the glass to break through, so they were like actually freaking out. But apparently that was someone just made that up.
Oh,
and that is one of the things of like how well they blend how well the CGI holds up in this movie, because the CGI shots of the T-Rex in that sequence are flawless.
Absolutely.
And part of it is Steven Spielberg being a really great director, because I think that there would be a lot of modern directors do this all the time, like superhero movies do this all the time, where you have like a CG creature and you just like light it to shit and just like show off the CG. You want to see everything, and they're like, no, the CG doesn't look that good, so it's gonna be at night. It's not gonna be well lit. It's gonna be raining, so like the natural like CG's always a little like wet looking, like it's a little too slippery. So like it's raining, it's naturally gonna look kind of wet. Like, it's smart. It's so well done.
It's so well done.
The master.
Like honestly, like it's such a good film. Like anytime I get happy, like, as tragic as the story is, but I just get so excited about it. Like even like the velociraptors in the kitchen scene is so iconic.
It's so good.
And it's so like I remember being a kid and just like when the velociraptor would run at them, but it would see their reflection, always got me.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's so smart.
Yeah, it's so good. And like I would just be like, I'd be genuinely like afraid. I'd be like, yeah, so I would just close the door and I'd be like, I'm there. They'll eventually leave, I hope. I don't know. I just ate a bunch of Jello. I should be good for the next 8 hours. Like.
I think
that scene's great.
They turned that scene into like that Funko, like where they do like the different movie scenes now. They turned into like a Funko Pop thing now. I saw that.
Speaking of Funkos, I do actually have the Dr. Ian Malcolm one. That's one of the things I wanted to show you. And like, I don't know where my friend got it because we didn't have Target anymore when this came out, I think. So he ordered it somewhere for me, and like it's like. I'm like, this is the best Funko I could ever get.
Oh yeah, it's right on my desk.
Yeah, he sits on my
great
book
character.
Oh my god,
Dr. Ian Malcolm. He's so and like Jeff Goldblum is just like this is peak Jeff Goldblum. This is the best he's ever been in anything.
Absolutely,
yeah. And just like he's an absolute fucking maniac in this movie too.
In the
when
book,
they're on the helicopter and he's like, "You guys dig up dinosaurs?" And he's like, "We try to," and he's like. Like, what are you doing? Why are you laughing like that?
He's sitting there trying to rizz up Ellie. Like, he's just like, you see this water right here? And see, it goes down 2 different paths, like, because you can't control it. And it's just like, damn, bro.
When he's in the car, he's like, I'm talking to myself now. That's
chaos. That's chaos.
Yeah, I'm a bloomer, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he's such a good, like his character, like he crushed that character. That's like, in the book, is his character like just like that similarly, or is he just different?
He is like the dude who is like the most like Michael Crichton definitely like uses him as like a point of view character because he's the character who just like goes off and like talks about like the light finds a way kind of stuff. Like
right.
All that is his character, but he's like. I was kind of surprised when I watched it this time. Well, I 2 weeks ago, but I've been watching this movie a lot lately. About like Ian Malcolm basically disappears at the second half of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like once he gets messed up by the T-Rex and they drive him back, like you basically don't hear from him for the rest of the movie. Mm-hmm. In the book, basically the same thing happens. But like Ian dies, like
oh shit, okay.
Yeah, and so he spends most of the book like just like being dead. So
yeah, okay. That's interesting that they kept his character alive. Then,
mm-hmm.
Do you think it was just like a?
So he's the you don't get like confirmed like death really of Ian Malcolm. Like he's like dying. The entire time, like he's like dying, like he's like got some really bad wounds. I don't like Makenna. You've read the book like way sooner than I have. Is there like, do they actually like say like, oh, Ian died? I thought it was more of just like implied.
Yeah, I think it was more implied. It was like something like, yeah, he just succumbed to his wounds and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, like they're like trying to like carry him around, and eventually at one point they're just like, oh yeah, he's just like not talking anymore, like he's done.
Yeah.
But because he does, like in the second book he comes back.
I opened that first book and it starts off with Dr. Ian Malcolm finished the presentation or whatever. I'm like, all right, I am not reading this right now. Like, I cannot go right straight from that to this.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so they mention it, but clearly he did not then?
I think it's explained, I read in the second book, it says at one point the doctors did an excellent job or whatever and brought him back somehow, even though I don't want to spoil the book too much for you, Brayden, but
fair.
Like he's basically dead. I do believe like in the book, like in that second book, like John Hammond also doesn't like end up dying. Mm-hmm. Like I think John Hammond comes back too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There are some theories about that though. One being they clone dinosaurs. Why don't they clone people too? You know?
Yeah, that's totally fair. I mean, like it's probably easier to clone a person as opposed to a dinosaur because the DNA is a lot easier.
Yeah, you don't have to splice in frog DNA.
Yeah, you just take it out, put it in.
Are you guys familiar with? I don't know how into British panel shows you guys are, but Nick Muhammad, who plays Nate on Ted Lasso, has a character called Mr. Swallow on a bunch of panel shows, and he did a parody to Jurassic Park, the theme song, and it is, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it because it is very good. It is very catchy, and I learned all of it last year, so I am ready. The entire time during this movie, I was just singing the lyrics in my head. I was like, "This is things are happening that I should not be singing to," but here I am singing. So I'm ready. If the theme song comes on in Vegas, I will be singing this song.
I was gonna say,
we'll fire it up.
We need to learn. Me and Jose also need to learn. So you start it, and then Jose and I come in strong as a background.
Yes,
you know,
let's go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we're talking about karaoke, so I feel like we could rock it out pretty good.
People are gonna be so confused while we're playing a song with no lyrics, but jokes on them, there are lyrics.
That's right. You're damn right.
But yeah, I love the music in this movie. It's
scored.
John Williams just doing
like his normal day-to-day thing, making masterpieces.
Killing it, always killing it.
Yeah, he like wrote and he composed and recorded this in like a month or whatever, and it's like, cool, okay.
In a month.
That's a biggie. One of the most like recognized theme songs of all time.
I didn't even work that hard. He's probably like, I kind of put it away when I was using the bathroom a couple times, you know, like it's just like this is the most simple things. Yeah, I kind of skimmed over dinner, you know, like his wife interrupting me half the time.
Yeah, no biggie.
Yeah.
Because didn't he do Schindler's? Did John Williams also do Schindler's List?
Probably. He's the guy. So
because I know Spielberg was working on Schindler's List while he was doing post-prod on Jurassic Park.
Yeah, so he was filming Schindler's List while editing, like on his lunch break on Schindler's List, he would go and edit Jurassic Park. Both movies came out the same year.
Oh, so, interesting.
Yeah, he made the, biggest blockbuster of the decade, like one of the most loved films, the highest grossing film at the time, and then like the biggest drama of the decade too. Put him out the same year because he's the fucking best.
That's Spielberg.
That's insane
for him.
Yeah, nice. It's like the Tim Allen.
Yeah, John Williams also did Schindler's List too, so they were both just fucking crushing it.
They're like, they just looked at each other. Want to make some money this year?
Yeah, 93. What a year to be Spielberg or John Williams, man.
Literally. Oh my god, it's like Tim Allen in 90. I think it was 94 or something. Well, I can't remember what year it was, but he had the best-selling book, the best TV show, and the best movie, Santa Claus, at the time.
Oh my god!
And
pretty good year.
I was like, damn, bro, what a comeback.
But this was also at a weird time for Spielberg because he had just done Hook, which was like his first like big failure in his career.
That was like Hook being like the Peter Pan one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that movie was so if you don't know Spielberg's career, right? He starts off doing like blockbuster movies, like he does, Jaws, Raiders of the Lost Ark,
right?
Close Encounters, just like blockbuster movies, just and like he's known as like he's the blockbuster guy. E.T., all that shit. He does Jaws, highest grossing movie of all time, then gets beat by Star Wars, and then he puts out E.T., highest grossing movie of all time. He's crushing it.
Beats himself with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, he's like hold my beer.
Yeah.
And then just
Yeah.
like
And then like he took a break from doing the blockbusters to focus on doing like really serious movies. Like he did like Amistad, I think, and The Color Purple, and just like really like heavy dramas. Empire of the Sun, which is like Christian Bale as a child did a movie, you know.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like so like Crush, and so Hook was his like return to like, I'm back, I'm doing blockbusters again. And it was like not well reviewed, didn't like kind of a bomb. And so like they was like, oh, does he not have the magic anymore? He's like, motherfuckers, I'm gonna make a movie so goddamn good.
You don't even know.
You don't know what JP's about to be, dude.
He's like, I don't think you guys understand. I got my company to spend $1 million freaking on this, so I'm
gonna fucking make dinosaurs come back to life, dude.
And
you know, like my Peter Pan movie. This is what you get.
This is what you get. You get something that you're like, oh, this is so cute, and now you're shitting your pants because you can't fathom the idea of sitting beside them.
Yeah, I think he's the only guy who's knocked himself off of being the #1 highest grossing movie of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because E.T. was the highest grossing movie of all time, and then Jurassic Park beat it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the only person who's done that.
Back to back, you know what I mean? Like,
actually, would Cameron do it with Titanic and Avatar?
I think because that was what 97 to 2012,
right?
Like,
yeah,
2009.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't think there was anything in between those. Damn,
Yeah.
Cameron too.
Yeah,
Cameron.
I was gonna say
back
like
to back though.
Yeah,
Spielberg, Cameron.
Which is still impressive though. Not many people can say that, you know.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
So I asked when I first watched Jurassic Park a couple years ago. I asked my parents because they were dating whenever Jurassic Park had come out. I was like, "Did you guys go see it?" Now, sidebar: my father does not watch a lot of movies, so I was not expecting a lot coming from him. And my mother also she watched a lot of movies, not a lot of sci-fi stuff. So I was like anticipating a no, which I kind of got. So it was at the drive-ins. They went to the drive-ins. It was a double feature with the Flintstones. They went for the Flintstones, fell asleep during Jurassic Park. so I'm like, okay.
Like the Flintstones, like with John Goodman.
So.
Yeah,
like
I had that movie on VHS. That movie
so did
rules.
I, dude. Yeah, man. That was a wild movie. It had
Kyle MacLachlan is the bad guy in that. Yeah, it's great.
Who played Fred's best friend?
Oh, it's Rick Moranis is Barney.
That's who it was. Yes, I was like, his name was escaping me. Like,
and what's her name? Who plays Barney's wife in that?
Fuck.
She's in A League of Our Own. What was that?
Gina Davis?
No.
O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Madonna. Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Boom.
Yeah.
Flintstones movie.
Was
good
in
shit.
There?
Yeah.
Wow.
So wild,
Flick.
man. Like, wasn't that bad though. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, like.
So my parents
Elizabeth
thought
Perkins?
so too.
Yeah. I mean, I would rather watch Jurassic Park than the Flintstones.
Oh no, yeah, it's Jurassic Park's a way better.
Jurassic Park's gonna win every day of the week.
When they said they fell asleep, like, how did you fall asleep? Like
you got the windows rolled up so it's like muffled,
exactly.
so it's just
the
quiet.
radio turned off. Like, what's going on?
So, admittedly, to Spielberg's point, is that like the beginning of the movie is like a little boring,
right?
And,
I mean,
it's actually like a thing of
right?
Yeah, it's a thing of Spielberg movies. Like Spielberg's a big believer in like relative dynamics. Like he's like, the exciting shit's not exciting unless it's like boring for a little bit.
Oh.
Right. And I mean, I get that because you're getting hit with all the science stuff. You're getting hit with like they're just seeing some dinosaurs, but none of them that are like kind of terrifying. I mean, like they drop the goat into the Velociraptor pit and it gets shredded, but it's not like it's like
they hide everything from you.
Yeah, they hide everything. You don't see nothing nothing crazy. So
you're like, you spend like the first like 20 to 30 minutes of the movie being like, what's this movie about? Like they're just hanging out at a park. Like I don't get what's going on. And then like you get to that part of like once the storm hits and like this is another great thing Steven Spielberg's great at, which is like the multiple planes of action, which is you get like Nedry starts doing his spy shit, right? Like he goes off to steal the embryos, gets in his car, and Hammond and Muldoon and Sam Jack are just like all of a sudden all the gates go off and they're like, fuck, what the fuck is going on? And then it just like cuts to the car and like the people in the car just like they don't know that shit's going down. Sam Jackson is like fucking pouring sweat from his face, like he's freaking out, and everybody in the car is just like, it's all cool. And like
we're like, man, we're just chilling, man.
We're in the car,
and like from that point the movie's just like nonstop.
Yeah,
so good.
You get like the classic like you didn't say the magic word.
I hate that heck of shit.
And it's so funny, man. And like I loved it because they're like it's the 90s, so they're like smoking inside.
Yeah, Sam Jack is just like chain smoking the whole movie
all the time, man, until he just gets ripped to shreds.
Muldoon is like the coolest fucking character ever.
Absolutely. Well, the reason they killed him off in this first movie was because the actor had Bob Peck. I think he had cancer, so he wasn't sure if he was going to be if he was going to be alive for the sequel.
Sad.
So he was told Spielberg is like, kill me off, in a cool way.
Well, yeah, and he gets like the coolest death. The death scene is so cool because like it's just like Muldoon being a fucking bat. He has the coolest shotgun in the world.
Yeah. It's like a Spaz 12 or something, right? Like,
yeah, and it's like this it's a pistol grip shotgun that has like this weird stock coming off of it. Yeah. Like it's just so fucking cool. And like he dies in the exact way Alan Grant describes at the beginning of the movie. He was like, you see the one coming in front of you, but the attack comes from the sides.
Yeah.
And just clever girl.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the most iconic lines in like movie history is clever girl.
Yeah, where like he takes him before he dies, he takes a moment to be like, game, respect, game, you got me.
Yeah. And then you watch him actually just get mauled. Like,
yeah.
Nothing. I mean, they never rip him apart, but you see him like grab his face and jump on him, and I'm like, oh.
Okay, so this is because I'm gonna have a lot of these, but this is like Spielberg, the master, like why he's so good, which is like the this is if you watch Spielberg movies, okay, I'm gonna give you some secret little thing that you're gonna notice all the time now, which is it's the Lawrence of Arabia shot. It's one of the tools in Steven Spielberg's toolbox. He uses it all the time, which is you've never seen Lawrence of Arabia, long ass fucking movie, old as shit. You probably haven't. The movie ends with main character T.C. Lawrence, like he dies in a motorcycle accident at the end of the movie. And so the end of the movie is like you see him like ride, and like the movie like cuts away, and you hear like the motorcycle accident, and then you just see his goggles that he's wearing with a little bit of blood on him hanging from the tree. Okay. And so you just see that. So it's this like still motion thing that's just like an implication of violence in like a really subtle way, just like this like stationary object. It's the beginning of Jaws when the lady gets eaten and you just see the buoy bobbing up and down, right? In this movie, you see it multiple times. It's when Nedry's getting eaten in the Jeep and it just pans down to the Barbasol can sinking in the mud.
Yeah.
And then when Muldoon gets eaten and it pans away, you just see the snake moving along, and then like it reveals like the raptor's been hiding there and stuff. Like that's one of Steven Spielberg's like favorite things, is just to do like, here's this like crazy act of violence, and then we're just gonna cut away to this thing, and you're just gonna be like, just reflect on that. Just think. Yeah,
you have like a few seconds to be like, God damn, that
you never get to. Yeah, you never get to see the violence. It's just this like, he gives you this image to like think about while somebody's dying.
Yeah,
it's great.
You're just like sitting there thinking, you're like, man, like he just got got. And like, cause he's supposed to be like the ultimate guy. You know what I mean?
Muldoon is so fucking cool in this movie. Like when he first shows up and like they're talking about the raptors, and he just walks up, he's like, they should all be destroyed.
And he's not wrong in a sense, you know what I mean? Because it like, and it's, I don't know if it's ironic or anything, because like he wants all the raptors gone because they're dangerous, and that's what kills him. You know,
like the way he talks about them, like he has this like admiration for like, where he's like, when he's just explaining like, oh, they're so fucking smart. Where he's just like, yeah, they're systematically attacking the fences for weak points and stuff. And he's just like, yeah, these things are the deadliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he wants nothing to do with it, because he's like, they will kill everything.
Yeah, it's like these things are fucked up. He's like, I've hunted most things that can kill a man, and these things scare me.
Yeah, like, so, it's such cool character. That's crazy. I wonder what would have happened then if he didn't pass.
Muldoon would have been the main character of every Jurassic Park movie going forward.
Absolutely.
The rest of the franchise would have just been like, you drop Muldoon on an island full of dinosaurs and he just fucking rips through them.
Just would have been like Turok just fucking shooting his way through everything.
Yeah. Those are the movies we should have got.
What could have been?
Would have loved it. I would have loved it. I mean, anything with dinosaurs, I would. I'm there. I'm already out there. I'm buying tickets.
Oh, hell yeah. But before this, when I was doing research, I accidentally went on about a 30-minute rabbit hole of looking at Jurassic Park Legos. They got some pretty cool sets out.
Like, I can believe it. You have like top 3 favorites?
Ooh, the one I've been eyeing up for the last couple years is one. It's a really cool set. It's when the T-Rex gets out, and it's got like a little Ian Malcolm quote on it, and like it's got Malcolm and like Tim and Lex and Gran stuff, and it's like the wire is broken and everything. It's super cool.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. That is sick.
Yeah, I like that it's on like the black pedestal as well. It would look really nice on my bookshelf.
Like you're gonna want to display this. Trust me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, of course.
Come on.
It's got the flare. And
I love like all the little details they put into those Lego sets. And then I think the other one that I was looking at, I think it's retired now, but it's like with the doors and everything, and like the two little.
Of like the main entrance. Yeah.
That always sends goosebumps. That's like.
What do you got in there, King Kong?
Man, what an iconic, like, I always love that like kind of final shot, like when the T-Rex had killed all the raptors and it like the fucking logo comes floating down and it roars. And
so
like,
so good.
They only figured that out like at the end of shooting.
Oh, really?
Like they figured that out like a week before they shot it.
Because
the original, and they were originally going to end it the way the end is in the book, which is that that T-Rex model falls on the raptors and kills the raptors, and that's how they get out. And then Spielberg was like, "Yo, I got this idea, and it's perfect."
T-Rex is going to be the hero of the story. Come on.
Yeah, and so this is my other Steven Spielberg, one of the best directors ever. Little tangent, which is Steven Spielberg is so good at like putting an image in a movie that is like a postcard for like what the movie is about, which is just it's like just a really cool shot. And so that T-Rex shot at the end is one of them, right? Where it's just like, here's the T-Rex standing where the T-Rex skeleton used to be. It's real now. Like, this is, when the dinosaurs roamed, that shit's now. Like, there's that one. There is one of my favorite shots in the movie, which is the when they're escaping through the roof and the raptor has the Gattaca stuff projected onto it.
Yeah.
Such a cool shot. Cool. One, because again, Steven Spielberg's great. It looks awesome. But it's also, again, it's a postcard for like what the meaning of the movie is, which is just like, when the scientists were creating them, all they saw was like the genetic sequences. They didn't think about like the monster that it would be. So here's those genetic sequences projected onto this monster, and it's so scary. Such a cool scene.
Or like, I love it when they're climbing through the vents, and the one like goes for Lexi's leg, and it like just
my god,
yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
I want to rewatch this movie again.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'm throwing one of them on
4K
tonight.
Blu-ray to rewatch it. And yeah, it looks great.
Oh man, I'm honestly like on the fence. I'm like, do I just buy like a 4K Blu-ray, like HD, like or like the 6-pack or whatever, just get all 6?
Hell
just
yeah!
Can I just watch them all except for 5?
Yeah. Throw that one in the trash. You don't need it.
Yeah, I don't need the. I mean, like, I would probably. I don't even know if I'd need to watch it. It was once was enough. I feel like I should give it a second try and just be like, okay, or not.
See, like, I'm not sure how many of them I could actually watch more than once, because like I don't think I'll ever watch 3 again. 3 is so weird.
I feel like 3 is where they made it from, like they made it a monster film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like where they made this, like they made the Spinosaurus like. You are afraid of this in particular, not like the whole thing.
Like, or like when they go into the aviary in that movie with the pterodactyls, like that scene is so fucking scary.
It really is, right? Because they genuine like the birds are freaking hungry, man. Like
they're just like flying around ripping people apart and shit. Like
yeah,
but that movie has so much like the problem with that movie is it has a bunch of goofy shit in it too. Like when he's dreaming and the raptor goes, Alan.
Yeah, and you're like, and I'm so glad that was a dream because if that thing talked to him, I'd be like, I gotta turn this off. Like this. Totally, like they definitely made it like they tried to have like that little bit of humor before like it got like terrifying, or like how the the Raptors kind of worked more together, or they worked together more, I guess, because they would like call for help, and so it's kind of interesting.
It's just different when Spielberg's not there, you know?
Did he do the first two?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he did Jurassic Park and he did The Lost World.
And some parts of me likes The Lost World more because I think it's just because the fact that they're like the people are a lot more helpless. Like they're kind of lost. They're stuck there because there's no way out.
It's a really cool concept too, like where it's like there's this other island where they were like first test, like this is where the first labs were for the dinosaurs. And there's all these dinosaurs left there, and like the plot, like it gets way more into like the other company that hired Nedry and like what they're doing.
Cool.
Yeah, and then like releasing a dinosaur into fucking San Diego and shit.
You ever want to watch it, Mac? You just tell me. I don't care. I'll drop whatever I'm doing. We're watching.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me read the book, and then I'll read the book before Vegas, and then.
Okay. I don't mind watching it because I think we're gonna. There's probably gonna be many nights where we're intoxicated, needing to do something, or just waiting to go somewhere, and then we're boom.
Look, we're gonna be like, there's probably just gonna be a bunch of movies on in the background in Vegas.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the third highest grossing movie of 1993. You know what it is, Mac?
Hold on, let me guess. Okay. Can you give me
third highest grossing movie, 1993. Harrison Ford.
Air Force One? I don't know when that came out.
No. Good guess.
Oh.
No. The Fugitive.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
The Fugitive. What a fucking flick The Fugitive is.
Okay, I know the movie now.
Yeah. I don't care.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, Tommy Lee Jones is so good. The movie's fucking awesome.
It's great. I think I've only watched it once, but I liked it. I was like,
we got to fire up that, and then we'll watch U.S. Marshals afterwards.
U.S. Marshals back to back. Let's go.
Yeah.
And then we'll watch. What was that? Mystery Men. We got to watch Mystery Men.
Oh, Mystery Men. Yeah. Yeah. See, there's just gonna be a bunch of movies on in the background during Vegas. We'll just put them on and do whatever.
Maybe all right, we're just going to stay at the Airbnb, get wasted, and watch movies all day, guys. I think Brett was like, we should watch Holes. I was like, sure, man. Like, let's watch some fucking Holes.
I haven't seen Holes since like 5th grade when we had to read
the book.
Either.
It's a great movie. So, I mean, like, I was like, sure. So, yeah, I think Brandon's right. There's going to be a lot of movies on in the background.
Yeah, it will be like, it'll be midnight. I'll be really drunk and I'll be like, I'm putting on fucking The Fugitive. We're just gonna, it's just gonna be on. Like, you just have to deal with that.
And I'll just, whether I make it or not, whether I pass out on the couch, I couldn't tell you. But
it doesn't matter. We're watching The Fugitive.
We're watching it. Yeah.
We're gonna watch Harrison Ford jump off this dam.
What a great moment. You don't understand. He's got to do anything he can to prove his innocence. If he gets caught, it's over because they don't believe in. They're just like, screw it. That's our guy.
Great movie.
I can't wait. Sorry.
I was gonna say, when it comes to like the Jurassic Park logo, I definitely think I like the original compared to the World one better. Because I think the World one is it the Dominion, like the new Rex, the Indominus Rex?
It might be. No, it's mostly the same. It's just like it's the color palette that's just not quite right. It's not that red with the yellow outline, you know.
It just hits so hard.
It looks like a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern, like the new one. It looks like someone carved that into a pumpkin.
Movie posters aren't as just like deal with it as they used to be. Like when you look at just like the black, it's just like a black poster and it's just the Jurassic Park logo on it, and they're just like, you're gonna see it. Like, we don't need to show you anything else. Like, look at this fucking logo, Jurassic Park, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't even watch a lot of trailers now. If I'm gonna go see it, I'm gonna go watch it, and then I'll just enjoy it then. It's
Brayden, do you have any final thoughts on the Jurassic Park? The Park of Jurassic.
I mean, I just have I could talk about this movie for
for hours.
I have so much to say about this movie.
I mean,
it's
final thoughts. I mean, it's a perfect movie.
It's a perfect movie.
Like there's no denying it. Like it is perfect. You know, I love being scared and feeling like I'm there. Like it's like even after all that, I'd still go to the park. You know, like maybe not like, you know, that one in particular, but you know, like Jose saying, if one's like 6 months, honestly, I'll give it 6 months. If it's still nobody's died, I'm there. I'm buying a ticket. You know, like there's like still like the opportunity. Like yeah, it's still like it still holds up well. You know, anytime it's in theaters, I buy a ticket. I don't care. Like I just go watch it. I'm like, this is gonna be I already know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna have so much fun.
It's arguably the greatest American director of all time at his absolute peak. Just like everything that he's learned through filmmaking, just absolutely crushing it. Yeah. Completely innovating on, you know, the way we make movies. Like, so you know, obviously other movies had used CG before, right? Like Sherlock Holmes, Young Sherlock Holmes, like the first movie that has like a computer generated character. Before this, James Cameron's The Abyss was like the most cutting edge like special effects ever. And so like a lot of filmmakers were afraid to like that like CGI was just like a fad, that like James Cameron was like pushing this stuff for his movies and he was developing all this stuff, but like it wouldn't be like a regular tool for people to use. And then Spielberg like so like they were originally planning on doing this as go motion, right? So like Phil Tippett is his name, is like the dude who like worked with Spielberg a bunch, the Industrial Light and Magic dude who like did all the Star Wars shit. Like he was like the dude who invented go motion, which is like the better version of stop motion, basically.
Totally.
And so he was working on doing the dinosaurs and stuff, and then some other company like Spielberg like, give me like a spec, like show me what like CGI would look like. And they did the scene of the dinosaurs like running in a herd or whatever, and they were like, shit, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. This is so good. And that's actually like where they got the line in the movie where he's like, I think we're out of a job. Like that was Spielberg talking to Phil Tippett. He's like, I think you're out of a job. And he's like, I think you mean extinct. And then he was like, I'm putting that in the movie. Awesome. Kind of mean, to be honest. But like the thing is, like, they didn't fire Phil Tippett. Phil Tippett stayed on the movie, and because CGI was so young at the time, they didn't have like a lot of like really good people animating CG. Like they weren't really good at rigging and like doing the full animation of it. So what they did was like Phil Tippett basically took his the models that he had built to do the go motion stuff, and then like they put the stuff to like read it into the computer. And so a lot of the CGI is like filming basically animation rigs onto Phil Tippett's stop motion. And so like that like invented like the entire pre-production process for like CGI, which is like Marvel movies are like 90%, you know,
they
pre-visuals
really
now. Like I don't know if you guys know the story, but like in Captain America the Winter Soldier, they basically told the directors like, hey, do whatever you want for the movie. It just has to have a scene in it where a one of the aircraft things crashes into the water, because we already have all the pre-visuals done for that.
Like, yeah, like, we paid for it already. It's all done. Yeah, you just have to have it.
So like this Steven Spielberg like invented the thing that is like now how movies are just like made. Like Marvel does all that shit in advance before the director's even hired now. So just like crazy. This is such a monumental movie, and just like Steven Spielberg is just the fucking best, dude. He's so
like
good.
I'll never like dinosaurs helped me do a lot of things in life. I'm not gonna lie, they helped me get the lady I got now. They helped me You know, they've helped me shape who I am because they're terrifying yet so amazing. So definitely best film.
JP never comes out. Who knows if that ever happens, man?
Exactly, right? Well, you know, Jurassic Park. I feel like Jurassic Park, for example, you know, my favorite game ever is Dino Crisis 2. Jurassic Park doesn't happen. People don't even realize how scary these things are. The, Capcom doesn't say, let's do a dinosaur cover of Resident Evil. Boom. Game never
that's very
comes out.
possible, yeah.
Game never comes out. I never pulled the biggest Riz moment of my life, and here I am.
Aww. And on that note, on the beautiful dinosaur, the beautifulness of dinosaurs, Brayden, where can people find you on the internet? I love having both of your names being so similar and me slurring both of your names. Every time it's so fun.
It is tough, Brayden. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't enunciate, so it's like I don't even know who I'm trying to talk to.
It's so funny because I have Brandon's name as his name on my phone, but every time if I can't find him, I type in Jose in my text and nothing comes up. I'm like, oh yeah, right, it's his real name. And then I have to back out, then type it. I'm like, yeah, there he is. And so like I'm just so used to calling him Jose.
I'm prepared that when we're in Vegas, everybody's just gonna call me Jose. I assume that's what's gonna happen, and I'm fine with it.
And that's what happened with Lisa.
Yeah, I never call her Lisa. I call her Vegas.
Yeah, most people just call her Vegas. So you know, kind of works. Like I don't get where Brett went from Jim to Brett.
He told me the story about where he got Jim Tasty from. I don't remember it. It wasn't like, that good.
It's like an all that fucking like skit or something like that.
Oh really?
Like, yeah, I'm like, all right, man, cool. Like he's always got like
call him Jim Tasty. That's a good name.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
I'm just used to calling him Brett, so I just call him Brett.
You lucked out because your name is literally Brayden Koryzma.
I got very lucky. And
that's your actual last name?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Oh my god.
A lot of people think I just like thought of a clever way to do it. I didn't have to think of it. It was already there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I assume that like your great-great-grandfather or something was like a magician.
Yeah, that'd be so dope. He did the original, like he made your finger, your thumb disappear and stuff like that, you know. But yeah, like I was very fortunate.
Yeah,
and also a lot of people don't call me Koryzma because of my
Koryzma.
Yeah, or Koryzma because originally my Twitch name was Brayden K007. So then when I rebranded it now, but then so most people already knew my name ahead of time, except for like the newer people I meet.
Wow, I love origin stories. This is great.
Wow. So you rebranded your Twitch. So like, what's your Twitch now? Like, if people wanted to go find your Twitch, like, what would they type in?
Twitch.tv/Koryzma.
Spell that for me.
Koryzma.
Okay, say it again.
The full word or the
Twitch, the twitch.tv?
Twitch.tv/Koryzma.
Okay, and if people wanted to follow you on like social media, where would they go?
They would go, if they wanted to go on like Instagram and Twitter, be Koryzma, because somebody has taken Koryzma and I was chapped, but it's fine. So Twitter and Instagram is Koryzma, and then I believe, is there other social medias that we're using?
Well, I mean, the most important one, TikTok.
TikTok. Oh yes, TikTok is also Koryzma.
TikTok, I don't know.
Or YouTube is also Koryzma as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I get the YouTube updates every day in the Discord server. So yeah.
When I actually
YouTube
post them, I've been really bad at doing it. I've just been so busy lately, but I want to get back on it. Yeah, basically everywhere. You
do a lot of like really cool streaming stuff, right? You're doing like Fortnite. What are you playing right now?
Fortnite. I did Rainbow Six Siege last week. I did like some Pikmin 4 or like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Really just kind of variety, whatever kind of comes across the desk.
Hell yeah.
It's the best. I like the variety just because it gives me the opportunity, and like games like Fortnite, for example, is amazing just because everybody can play it because it's free. If you have a console, whether it's a Switch or a PC or anything in between, we can still play together and have a good time. Like, I was blessed to play with you guys, I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, so amazing. So, it was...
Hell yeah.
It was the best. So, like, that's why I love those kind of stuff. But
Absolutely. And Brandon, Jose, what? Where can people find you?
I'm around the internet at Jose Ruckus on most of the things. That's where people can find me.
Hell yeah. You can follow the podcast places.
True.
Twitter.com at HBO Max, HBO Maks, on YouTube, youtube.com/at HBO Max, TikTok at Maximum Ruckus. Shout out to Brandon for
rebranding.
Yeah. Well, I was posting all the shorts because I kept meaning like, okay, I got to set up like a whole different TikTok account for the things, but like I'm just gonna like get them out there so just like people know the podcast poster or whatever. And then eventually I'm just like, it's at this point it's just easier to change my TikToks than it is to like repost them all. So
I like gone to send you a TikTok and I was like, wait a second, where is
I know.
he?
I was like scrolling and I'm like, I seen it. I was like, oh, okay, we changed it. We changed it. All right, great. Yeah. Definitely worth it though. Like
so at Maximum Ruckus for all the fun TikTok videos that we do.
Absolutely. There's some of my favorite. You guys edit them really well. I like how you guys have different colors for when you got each of you was talking. I like that.
Thank you. I'm gonna tell you a secret about the colors.
Oh, the behind the scenes about why we do the colors the way we do.
Yes, yes. I don't know where my sticky note. Oh no, I do know where my sticky note of colors is. So the hex code for Brandon's pink is the Jose Ruckus hex code. Fun fact for you: the blue is the blue from somewhere. Oh, the HBO Max logo.
I thought the purple's from the HBO Max.
The purple is
logo,
also
isn't
from the HBO Max. The light blue that I use.
Oh
my God,
from
for
the
the
VHS
third
strip,
person
right?
is from the and then my purple is the purple from the logo as well. I'm a big fan of hex codes. I got like all the Fortnite hex code colors down. I've got. If you need a hex code, let me know.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'd be like, what's hex code? Like 31215, and you'd be like teal. Come on, try harder, bro. Like
it's in these logos. Yeah, it's I'm a big fan of hex codes. But yeah, it's I have a lot of fun editing. I make my sister watch them as well to make sure they're actually funny. I
mean, hey, it's if you think about it, it's you know how people watch movies, they screen them to make sure like if it's a comedy, they make sure certain jokes are hitting. They're like, okay, so it's just the same thing, really, right?
Exactly. You know, once
it's very rare that I have to give notes back to Makenna on the edits. Occasionally, occasionally we'll get like a thing where I'm like, you should add in a little bit, like where like you don't have the part where we explain what we're talking about.
I'm really bad about keeping clarity.
You almost need like an HBO Max no context.
Yes.
Yeah. Where it's very clear that Makenna has been editing this for like an hour and she's lost the point where the context is in her head. She's not thinking about the context while she's editing it.
Is. I'm like, that's why I make my sister watch it because I'm like, Campbell, do you understand this?
Because when you listen to something like a million times, like when I'm editing videos and like the first, you're getting like a good joke, first 8 times you're kind of laughing. By like number 100, you're like, I
you're
hate
mouthing
this
the words along with it.
Yeah,
and
I
you're
don't
like,
want to watch this ever again.
I never want to see this again. Like it's not even a funny joke. Why is this in my video?
Yeah. I'm gonna pick something different to clip out now.
Yeah, you're like doubting it entirely, and it's so funny.
I have like a bunch of different timelines on my like whenever I edit of like 3 or 4 different clip outs. And like at the end when I'm done, I'm like, I hate them all. I don't know why I picked these. These are terrible.
What do you use to edit?
I use DaVinci Resolve.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's what I started editing with. I know Premiere just from like work and everything, but I'm like,
right.
I like DaVinci. All of my presets are already in there, and like all of my notes are DaVinci Resolve related. I'm like, I don't want to try to figure this out in Premiere.
That's the thing, right? Is that once you've figured out one, it's hard to like convert because you go from like a fairly good speed to like no speed, and it would bother me.
Oh, yeah.
The issue that I have is I don't edit the TikToks very often. I do it like once every couple of months, and I do it on Adobe Premiere. And so in between the times that I do the TikToks, Adobe Premiere is a completely different program. I have to relearn every single thing that I know about it before I can start over. So it takes me 3 hours every single time.
You're like, this is a 20-second clip, and it's 10 p.m. I have to go to bed, man.
It's like, I thought the program was working pretty good beforehand. I don't know why we had to redesign it.
Why'd you update it? Don't change the UI. Just leave it.
Yeah. Well, I sent a little while ago, I had to send Brandon my notes for the TikToks because I wasn't able to edit it, and he told me, he's like, I don't know what any of this means because it was just numbers. Because
it's just a bunch of numbers.
I knew what it meant, but because I didn't feel the need to label it. And then I'm like looking back at the sticky note, I'm like, oh, this is like the writings of like a madman or something. Like this makes no sense. But
he looks at this, he's like, yeah, this thing's not getting done today. Or if it's getting done the Jose way, and it's just
one of the old clip outs is getting brought back.
Yep.
Yeah, he's like, we're just gonna repost it. It should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
it's fine. Yeah, but yes, thank you for watching HBO Max. Bye.
Thank you guys, both of you guys. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, thank you so much. Like, actually, like, I've been since I've met you guys, I've always wanted to be on the show. So this is like fucking like so exciting for me. So thank you.
I'm so happy. Thank you for being on here.
Yeah, no, we're super happy to have you on. We'd love to have you back sometime soon.
You just, Jose, give me the call and I'll be ready. You know,
yeah, man.
Whatever it takes.